Hi, I'm Mike Bellevue. I write for Guns of the Old West and combat handguns. But today we're going to be shooting the tactical M1 Carbine. I know most of you are used to seeing an M1 Carbine in military dress with these wooden stocks and the wooden handguard, but that's not the way I choose to use mine. Now, I know some of you who are collectors of military are going to be a little bit incensed at this, but I didn't use a military collectible. I used kind of a beater gun. And the Cho 8 stock for me is much more ergonomic than the original M1 stock. And this is a rifle that I use, not one that I just have in a collection or on the wall. So it's going to work well for me, and the Cho 8 stock absolutely does. All right, here's my M1 Carbine. And I call this a tactical M1 Carbine. And as you can see, I've got a Cho 8 basically plastic stock for it, and a black steel handguard. Now, I know a lot of military collectors are probably spinning around and getting ready to make a nasty comment right now, but I'll be honest with you, I didn't take a collectible M1 Carbine and change it over. This gun was pretty much a junker, and I really like this. I like the pistol grip. I like the way it handles. It really doesn't change the weight. It weighs about 5 pounds in the wood. It weighs about 5 pounds in this, but it's an excellent weapon. These guns came out in World War II, and they were for rear echelon troops. They were for troops that had to support squad operated weapons like a mortar squad or a machine gun squad, and they were meant to replace the heavy Springfield rifles or Garand rifles, and also to replace handguns for officers. They never really did replace handguns, but they did a pretty good job of replacing the heavy-duty Garand rifles. This is a gas-assisted rifle, fires the 30 M1 Carbine round. And it kind of got a bad rap during Korea as not being powerful enough to stop the Chinese when they were coming over. Some of that is probably due to poor shot placement, though some of it could be due to poor bullets. And be honest about that. I've got my views on bullet type that I'll share with you in a little while. And I gotta apologize, I'm not filming this where I would prefer to film it, so there's a lot of shooting going on, and we'll see what we can get through today. So you got my apologies. Don't make a don't like comment because of that, I hope. This gun started off with these 15 round magazines, which you can see loaded up over here. During the Korean War, they came out with an M2 variant that was selective fire, and that was a problem. These things had a very high rate of automatic fire, and it was hard to keep them on target, and I suspect a lot of them just plain missed. But the M2 variant used these 30 round magazines, which I think are great, but a lot of M1s have problems with them. And one of the reasons is because they're so heavy when they're loaded up. The M2 has a beefier magazine catch right here, and you can retrofit M1s with them, but what I found is if I take these 30 round mags and I only load them with 25, they work perfectly in the M1. Now, I'll be honest, this is one of my zombie apocalypse guns. I think it's a good zombie rifle. It doesn't take much to shoot them in the head. And for anti-personnel work or anti-animal work around the property, these are great. These are great guns, especially with a jacketed soft point bullet. And they're very light, like I say, 5 pounds, easy to carry around. I've got a musette bag here that I keep loaded up with spare magazines, right, and plenty of spare ammo. Got a whole pocket full of spare ammo over there, and believe me, you can carry enough ammo to keep you in the fight for a long time with one of these things. So I think it's a great choice. It was a good gun in World War II, and it's still a good gun now. Prices, of course, have gone up quite a bit over the years. I used to be able to get these things for like 75 bucks when I was younger. But if you can still find a good buy, particularly on one that's not a real pristine military collectible one, It's a good gun to set up as a tactical weapon. To me, it's better than a 223 for short ranges, like perimeter defense, that sort of thing. It punches a lot more than, say, a 9mm or a 40 Smith & Wesson carbine does. It's got a lot more stopping power. It's kind of like a 30 caliber Magnum round, pistol Magnum type round. So it's a powerful weapon, but it's not as powerful as carrying around a 308 battle rifle, which I love, but only if you're going to reach out like 300 yards and touch somebody. If you're only going to be within 100 yards or 200 yards, I think this is a fantastic choice. So we'll put a few shots downrange and see how it does. I use cheap full metal jacketed bullets for practice, and I buy them in bulk, and you can usually get good deals on them. But for serious work, I prefer the Remington 110 grain jacketed soft point bullet. That bullet will put a hurting on anything. So it's good anti-personnel or pest control or you name it. That's a good round, and I've got a decent supply of that on hand. I started off shooting steel, but the 30 caliber M1 Carbine rounds really knocked that steel around. So after this round of fire, I changed over to shooting bottles filled with water, plastic bottles filled with water. Well, you don't get that nice, satisfying ding when you're shooting bottles of water, but they do have their own rewards, which you'll see in the next clip. Shooting water bottles provides some visual appeal, at least.